This is exercise 9.6, the plate. What we got here is a plan, and then here's an elevation. We're going to turn it into a section. So yes, we're going to draw the plan first. We're going to do the overall dimensions, and then go with the circles, and then the two cutouts here. Then we'll work towards the elevations. So, first of all, we got to make sure our units are correct. Decimals or in inches or unit list is another one you can use. I'm going to go to home, make sure we're on the correct layer, which is visible. I'm going to start at 0, 0, as I usually do. I'm going to go 2.5. Sorry, I'm going to use, and my apologies, I'm going to use a polyline. So this is going to go 2.5, go 5, 2.5, and C for close. The reason why I use a polyline is because it's now one big box. And the reason why I want to do that is I got to offset this inside box 0.25. So by having that, I can just go to offset, type in 0.25, and there you go, we have that box. The next thing we're going to get to is we're going to do these three circles here. So it's saying that this circle here is 1 inch diameter, and this is telling me that this little one's 0.5. Down here in the elevation, it's telling us this outer one's 1.5. So we're going to draw all them. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go with diameter, and I'm just going to type in the coordinates of 1.5, comma 1.25. That should put us right in the middle there where we want to be. So 1.5, 1.5, comma 1.25. Okay, then our first diameter is 0.5. Our second diameter is 1. And then our third diameter is 1.5, which we did the radius. 1.5. There you go. So now I want to explode this. That's Command X and hit Enter. I'm going to offset this 0.75. And the reason way I got that is I'm going 0.75 offset. And then here I'm going to 0.75 because we got from here to the edge of this is 0.5, and this circle is a 0.5 diameter, so half of that's 25. So you do the math. So what I'm going to do then is going to offset 0.75 both directions, and then I'm going to do an arc. I'm going to do center, start, and end because I know my center. I'm going to use my little O snap to keep it ortho. I'm going 0.25 because that's the radius of the circle. I'm going to go up here to the end. So I can now get rid of these lines. I want to mirror this. Use the end of my arc as the mirror point, and I'm going to move this 1. The reason being is here it says it's 1 inch on the centers here. So I'm going to draw 2 lines connected. Okay, I'm going to use the mirror command again. I'm going to mirror off the midpoint of this, and now we have the objects drawn for the top here for the plan. So I'm going to go to my layers center line, annotate, and use my center marks. I'm going to use the outside center marks. Okay, and then these I'm just going to connect them. Just drag them over. They're extended, so I'm not going to really extend them any further. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the bottom. Then I'm going to draw the sections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line, copy it down, some random dimension. Okay, I'm going to copy 1 because that is the height of this. And then I'm going to use some projections and all here. So I'm going to project the outer box of this first. So we can get this line and this line. So we're going to go to projection lines. We're going to click on vertical. Here, 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 and here. Okay, one thing I'm also going to do is I'm going to offset this to get this line, this bottom line, the thickness of this, 0.25. So we're going to offset 0.25. And then we're going to get our lines here. My apologies. We're going to do our lines here. There we go. And you can just draw the line over top of it and erase this line. So now I'm going to get rid of those projection lines. Looks like I missed some here. So we're just going to connect the dots. Okay, now I'm going to project down the circle. Okay. Okay, so we got the circle projection. So it looks like it pops up here and it kind of comes down and goes through. So that's what we're going to draw. Now one thing we do have is it tells us from here to the top of this, from the bottom here is 0.5 and from here is 0.25. So I'm just going to offset 0.25 twice for my projection line. So I'm just going to draw my line. I'm going to start here. I'm just going to kind of draw it around, up. My apologies. Get the correct layer. Come up. We go with the slope. I'm going to bring this the whole ways down because we're cutting the whole way through that hole. So I'm going to start here. Come up to that line. I'm going to slope it down. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of some of these. So we're going to just use the visible line, or the thin line. Okay, so we got that. Now next thing we got to do is we got to project this down. Yeah, I'm going to project that down. Maybe. Go vertical. Okay. I'm going to trim that. I'm going to draw these lines. Okay, and then I'm going to even trim this line because we're going to now do all our thin lines that remain. Here, here, and here. Okay, and then all we got to do now, what's left for us to do is hatch. Now I'm going to add a scale of 1. I'm going with the ANSI 31 hatch, of course, again. The other thing we have to do now is we're going to do our cut plane. Now we're getting into the annotating. I'm going to use the polyline. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to pick some random place between the circle here. And then I'm going to go up. And I want to use my perpendicular O-snap and kind of hover over this line so I get to the perpendicular of this. And then just come out past a little bit. Now I'm just going to stretch this. There we go. Now I'm going to just create a leader. The command LE to the perpendicular. Just going to move it. I'm going to copy it. There you go. And now what's left is to annotate. So we're going to hit dim, layer, maybe. I keep hitting the color here. Annotate. We go our dim styles. We're going to modify because we're just changing our dim style. The primary units we're going to have 0.00. And then the fit, I made 0.75. That's what I made this time. 1 might be good too, but it's just fits in there a little better. So I'm just going to follow the dimensions that's on the in the book there. .5. Got our 0.2. Oops, probably should have done this one first. Get it to come out there. Sometimes you really got to stretch it. Going to my continuous. And just grab this one. Grab the grip. Put it in the center here. And just grab this, pull it in a little bit. Yeah, see, I didn't do that because of that line in the middle there. So I'm just going to put it right here. Okay. Get our 0.75. Locate the center of our circle. Now, you'll notice I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hit the end point of this dimension over here. It lines it up. That's why I do that. We are going to get our overall dimension of... Oops, sorry. Got to locate our center here of 1.25. We're going to use the O-snap nearest and then perpendicular to get this. And I want to pull this dimension out here. It's a little cleaner. And we can just use the grips to pull that dimension out a little further. So it just kind of keeps it a little cleaner. There you go. And then we got to get our diameter. So we're going to hit here, which gives us our 1-inch diameter. Double click on that. Move our cursor over, hit enter. I'm going to hit symbol, diameter, and 0.5. Okay. So that should dimension everything for the plan here. And now we're going to dimension the section. So we know we have here and here, which is our 0.25. And we have here and here, which is our 0.5. So I think I'm going to kind of clean this up a little bit. Put this one up here. Move it back. There we go. I wonder if we can move that over. Does not seem to want to work for me. Maybe I'll just move it down here. Sometimes dimensions aren't always the easiest, but it's working. Just have to figure out a situation, a solution for it. And then we got to give the overall height here. I'm going to line it up with those dimensions right there. And I got to give the width of this. Okay. Just make sure dimensions are clear between the plan and the section. Just make sure that's all nice and clear. After you've annotated everything, make sure you go into your title block. Get a good scale in here. I'm not going to put it to a scale, but you guys will. And then match the scale here in the title block. Or change this scale to what the viewport scale is. Put your drawing title and your name. This is exercise 9.6 plate.